Hello. Being that I'm only an associate scientist and mathematician, I just came up with an idea during lunchtime that the methane produced by the biodigester, um, like I said, my knowledge is limited in uh, chemistry. Um, what I thought of was if a senior chemist or someone from IUPAC ever sees this, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, um, a method of polymerizing methane can restore what fossil fossil fuels we've used to this point. Um, I don't think we don't. I've heard that sweet crude, sweet is I know there's crude, light crude, but there's also sweet. I think. Um, if well, sweet stuff's always the best stuff. Well, being I'm a diabetic, that's not a good thing to say. But the sweet crude, maybe America can make it if it doesn't already exist. Uh, I'm trying to think of a good company to send this to, but Sun Oil Company. I don't know if that's American, uh, but maybe I think Sun is the biggest oil refiner in the world, but I'm not positive. Um, um, yeah, if somebody could help me out here and forward some of this stuff to Sun Oil, uh, which is commonly known as Sunoco, Sun Oil Company. Um, I would greatly appreciate it, and possibly if they were to fund me in exchange for someone forwarding this to them, I would send some I don't know, 20%. Uh, that's not enough. Or if it is, uh, I can't put a price on it because it's priceless. It's we need a form of energy. I'm I'm far away from working on it. I've got some research compiled on something I call gluon encasement energy. It's basically when annihilation occurs and the gluon particles or the string. I think it's actually this. That it's been. I'm sorry to go off topic, but I've got a few minutes, so um, space has frequently been called the fabric of space. And if you look at like a screen over a window, if you look through the screen, in my opinion, the um, matter and energy are, um, if you picture that one screen and then place screen after screen after screen after screen, just in perpetuity. Um, I did some notes on that, but I posted them to my blog. Um, they're offering to make it Sean 1966, but I guess that Sean1966.com, but it's not about me. It's about the future of the planet, and so I would like to name it after my company though, but I can't. Things change slowly. Um, the only thing bound to change is change. Um, yeah. this gluon encasement energy ties in with my theoretical work on cold fusion. Um, it's basically using a magnetosphere that is made of NMR magnets. Um, it looks like it's a sphere, and the X, Y, and Z axis are where the magnets are placed, possibly to attempt to, well, MRI vibrates hydrogen. If a hydrogen atom or were trapped in the center, it may be induced to release its energy. But actually, one of the things I contemplate sometimes is if an electron really is a fundamental particle, that it's irreducible, because of the fact that when it is given energy, it drops back down and emits it. So it's a stable particle, but I don't think it's fundamental. That's just my personal opinion. I have nothing to back it up at this point, but I've heard that electrons and positrons have already been collided. I read about that in a poetry book by a lady named Wendy Batten. I love her poetry. It's amazing. I hope she doesn't mind, but I wrote in between the lines of some of her poems about Snake, the guy in the mental ward, and they were taken, stolen, whatever. Paid $90 for it. And, In the Solar Wind is a wonderful book. It's probably the best book of poetry I've ever read. Even better than T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland. I actually added a line into the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Let us go then, you and I, as the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table, speaking of some forgotten fable, where the women come and go, speaking of Michelangelo. By the way, speaking of Michelangelo, I had a book of his poetry, but I lost that too. I like to be able to tell you where all my notebooks I've lost have gone to. One place that has some is Pine Street Inn in Massachusetts, Boston, homeless shelter. Another one is in the Tampa area. I wanted to create a company called Sol Terraforming, like solar, Sol using. Actually, during lunch too, I was thinking of in my notes. I depicted a propulsion system that's meant to be. It's an impulse power or whatever, or warp factor or whatever you want to call it. Um, Accelerated ions. It would take a long time to warm up before it would warp or whatever. Fold actually. I thought it should have a muonic wave barrier inhibitor in the front, but I'm not positive about that. I would have to talk with some particle physics people. So you face the exhaust, so to speak, towards either the nearest or the farthest black hole. Nearest probably being the more advantageous for experimentation. And the NAMI's project, I don't think I donated any hard drive time to them. The mapping the cosmos, you all did a great job. I have an idea of the space travel by the Unit Circle Astrolabe. Um, Basically, you in case you have a that let's just say like a bubble chamber in the middle of the ship, and that would be where the shields were. To You don't want to open a wormhole close to the planet; it would suck it in. Uh, I guess I posted my notes. I can't. I don't want to do it again. I keep repeating things, and no, I haven't repeated anything in a long time. Most of my stuff is highly original. Um, I was thinking about a metric clock, based on the powers of 10, exponents. And actually, the RMS for the oh, I think computers already use metric clocks and just convert it into human time for our convenience. That's a good way to push and pull the stack, or pop and pull, whatever, stacks or whatever, using powers of 10 and logarithmic enhancement. So this not bubble chamber, but magnetosphere in the I don't know exactly where to place it. Probably for greatest advantage at the aft of the ship. No, because that's where the huh. Yeah, at the aft of the ship, sort of like a Volkswagen engine in the back instead of the front. So current automobile technology, we're putting the cart before the horse. Um, uh, um, I think for I have some memory of I hate to even say his name, and it's not his real name as far as I recall. Adolf Hitler designed a car that ran on cotton, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's just hogwash too. I don't know. Um, I better stop doing that. Just zoning out, so to speak. I'm trying to think of something to give. Um, Interesting article to look at. If anybody could get it to Bill Gates, or I don't know anybody else who's interested in curing or actually immunization against HIV. But there's an article on Wikipedia. It's either T-cell immunization or T-cell inoculation. I think it's T-cell inoculation. There's research being done on that now. So that I think that has to do with the technology that already exists. That if the mother of a fetus, or whatever you want to call it, mother of a baby, has HIV, they have something they can inject in the umbilical cord um, before a certain gestational age, and the child will be HIV free. Um, I don't know what company did that, but it's a great advancement. Um, my personal health, um, starting low on my on the ideas I came up with is a method to remove all non-beneficial, like E. coli is in our intestines, and that's beneficial. It's a symbiotic relationship. Um, but all prions, viruses, bacteria can be removed using NMR magnets or maybe even MRI. Well, no, not MRI because um, maybe, I don't know. I'll skip that part. Somebody else will have to um, give their opinion on that. If you'd like to post to um, my page or whatever, my site. Um, so basically, you set up. A friend of mine, Michael Stiles, said there'll be a lot of heat released as the infectious organisms explode, so to speak. They're lice. It's called LYSE is when a cell explodes, and when it shrinks, it's called crenate, CRENATE. Has to do with hyper and hypotonic solutions, higher salt, lower salt. Um, I don't think it said that in the right order, but I might have. Basically, the patient who's in infectious crisis or whatever you want to call it, maybe this would work for HIV, and I have to tip my hat, not wearing one, but bump my noggin. Uh, uh, Scientific American published an article several years ago that they found that every infectious, what was with bacteria they did it, but every infectious organism has a frequency at which it ruptures. Like say you have paramecium in your blood or something, um, or amoebas, or who knows what. Um, I don't know if that's symbiotic, but hydras. Hydras are like little jellyfish. Um, the, Probably the most beautiful microorganism I've seen under a microscope is Volvox. It's crystalline and very hazardous. I think that's what whoever invented HIV put the reverse transcriptase into with the stream of insertion codes. Um, can't believe I finally said that. For years I've been saying shit and cum makes AIDS, but it was probably of design. Um, Actually, this biologist, which I can't consider myself one because I didn't finish my degree, say that HIV actually originated in Africa because of the hunter-gatherer evolution of our species. Um, the stronger men would go out hunting and take the weaker men with them as sexual release, while women stayed home and made huts and stuff. And so I guess shit and cum did make gays, maybe. I'm sorry to be so vulgar, but I can't think of an eloquent way to say it. So back to if it's like the machine that health machine, whatever. There's got to be a better name. Somebody else can name it. It's about time. They say Adam named all the things on Earth. It's about time someone gave a woman a chance to name something. It happens, but not often. So it's basically like it's not a conveyor belt, or actually, I guess conveyor belt. That is, yeah. Like, it's it's an extremely slow process because the core temperature would be rising, as my friend Mike said. He's got a PhD in physics, so he would know. Um, the magnets, the way NMR originally nuclear magnetic resonance, but that kind of scared people, so they changed it to magnetic resonance imaging. Um, I had a PET scan and something even more advanced than that they came up with for monitoring me. I guess when you go off the chart on the IQ scale in second grade, somebody's watching. Let's see. So this actually, I was thinking it would be a series of magnets, but it should only be one because the magnetic dipole, or the ceramic magnets for NMR are superconducting, and if you put one next to the other, they're going to slam together and keep pulling and pulling and pulling towards each other, because the fields would interlace. So one magnet, and so it's a faster process than I thought. Basically, the radio frequency control of hydrogen, the magnetic field, it's a combination of resonating, and resonating means vibrating. The way NMR works is to oscillate hydrogen atoms to cause like as boaters would say, a wake, a eddy. We're made up of more hydrogen than oxygen. We are 90% water, but let's see, I can't do the calculations with weight, but per atom more hydrogen than oxygen in H2O. So that was a brilliant move. I actually got to read the paper on the gentleman from MIT who created the NMR magnet. He was a graduate student. Hopefully he received his PhD, and actually I think it was a long time ago he thought of it. He was so brilliant. He thought of things before the magnets even existed. He's like, when they exist, this can be done. That's a true donation. Although I think NMR interferes with solar corona, because vibrating hydrogen. Carl Friedrich Gauss kind of, what is the word? Because I can't think of it. Self-absorbed, selfishly. He said the Earth has a magnetic field of 1 Gauss, but NMR is working at the level of up to 120. I think I've heard 120 Gauss, which would definitely reach the sun and alter its magnetosphere. I don't know if we're getting solar flares. Don't have a telescope on that, but So basically, let's see, NMR altered to, um, there is no single atom that's in the infectious diseases that isn't in other non-infectious. So something has to be isolated, which I actually proposed in my notes. The prions, you start with prions, and I don't know the measurement on proteins, but in genetics the measurement is Daltons. So I didn't write Daltons, but say you have a prion that is length x. If you tune the frequency to x divided by 2 and oscillate, it's possible you could rupture the prion. For those of you that don't know, prions are self-replicating viral proteins. Probably the nastiest organism that's from Kingdom Monera. Just, I'm not a teacher, but I guess I'm teaching a little bit. King Philip came over for gene splicing. King Philip came over for genes soup. Genes as in a man. That's a good way to remember the taxonomy. Kingdom, King, Philip, phylum. King Philip came over. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Did I get that? Did I get that right? Okay, I'll do it again. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. I'm pretty sure that's right. They've changed the system of classifying genomes. It used to be IPMAT. Actually, that's meiosis and mitosis. Mitosis is the division of somatic cells. Somatic meaning body. They're diploid, whereas reproductive cells are haploid. Diploid, think of double. Haploid, think of half. So, with my friend Mike telling me about the heat release during the process of curing infectious diseases, I thought of originally of placing the patient in an ice bath, but something on television the other night, last night I guess it was, about putting people in cold suits to lose weight, confirmed my idea that as the person passes through the magnetic system to rupture the infectious organisms, the suit maintains the body core temperature by putting cryogenic fuel, whatever. That'd be a cryogenic use of fossil fuels would be a step before we can do. I actually have an idea for a hydrogen tank but it's too dangerous with the terrorism going on. Um, because the tank, one car, the hydrogen fuel tank, one car could take out almost as much as um, a nuclear blast. Um, not, I'm exaggerating, I guess. Well, I'm not going to talk about it because it's before its time. We've got too much violence and um, anarchy going on. The problem is with why I don't want to talk about the hydrogen fuel tank is hydrogen can be compressed to the level of metal, metallic hydrogen. That article's on Wikipedia also. Metallic hydrogen. Um, well, um, 1256. I am thinking of that in biblical sense. What is 1256? It's probably in Kings. I think I'm going to go read that. Kings 1256.